Let's do it.
All right, man. Welcome back to Talk Smack with Mac. This is a super special episode. We were honored and have the privilege of doing an interview on motherfucking set, baby. And we are on the set of Inferno. And this is my guest, Joe Castro, a badass fucking special effects guy, but you also write, direct, do some producing. I was checking you out, man. You've been in the game for a long time.
I have been. Thanks for having me on the podcast. And,
Talk Smack with Mac, baby.
I've been doing it for about 40 years now.
Yes.
So I've been worked with a lot of amazing people throughout my career, and now I have the honor to work with this amazing group of people, Eric Mathis and his team, for a movie called Infernal. And we got a lot of devils and demons and killing going on in this movie, and I'm just trying to do something truly original,
Yes, no, that's pretty badass. Immediately when I walked inside of this house, I started fucking geeking because everything is badass in here. The first thing, let's go over here, guys. The first thing I noticed was this Devil's Rejects poster, who it is signed by, who is that signed
Bill
by?
Moseley.
Bill Moseley. That is badass. First of all, I remember when House of a Thousand Corpses came out. And I went to the movie theaters, and I was young. I wasn't ready for it. It was so much to digest.
How old are you now?
I'm 29.
Okay, so you must have been.
I was like fucking 8 or some shit. I remember watching it with my dad, and we ended up leaving halfway through. Maybe it was too much.
It was too much.
Yeah. And then now, as I'm older, I go back and I watch it, and I was like, yes, Rob Zombie is fucking so intense, man.
I had the honor to work with Bill Moseley on a couple of movies. There was a movie that he was in titled Cynthia, about this mutant killer baby, and I got the digital effects for that. And then also he did a movie called Exorcism at 60,000 Feet, which is directed by Chad Farron, and Bill plays the lead villain in that movie as well.
So he's trapped on a plane with some type of demon?
Yeah. Bill is Bill's like the demonic incarnation of some bizarre, what do you call, homicidal, army guy who's trying to take out everybody on the plane.
I would love to play in a movie like that. To let that PTSD really sink in, mixed in with the interactions with a demon.
Well, if you come out to Hollywood, and I'm sure you'll find a place to do that.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I'm taking trips. I'll be out there tomorrow, matter of fact. So hey, it's no big thing, flying into Burbank. But I want to talk about growing up in San Antonio.
San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up,
you a Spurs fan?
Yeah,
sports at all?
Yes. Yeah. Well, but I grew up. I was actually a competitive water polo player for 7 years.
Water polo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were state champions the year I graduated high school.
Okay.
But I grew up near San Antonio, which is about 25 minutes northwest. It's a small town called Helotes, Texas, and people like George Strait had a house there, Carol Burnett, Henry Thomas. And so it was kind of it's a small town, but huge pieces of property. Mm-hmm. I grew up on 55 acres of property where I had a slaughterhouse. It was a goat ranch and a general store on the actual property. And that's where I learned how to do all kinds of all my gory stuff.
I was going to say, and you're exposed to blood, I'm sure, at a young age growing up on the ranch.
Yeah, I like to say
55 acres, that's a lot.
I saw and experienced things like no 5-year-old should ever have to see, but I'm sure there are worse things that children have to see in this world. But yeah, I grew up on a goat ranch with a slaughterhouse, so probably the most life-changing thing I did in my youth was having to choose the animal to be slaughtered next. I wish I would have never done that, but as a 5-year-old, you don't really realize how that's going to impact your life. Mm-hmm. Of course, we'll never do that again, but
Yeah, you're exposed to death, and regardless if it's an animal or a person or whatever, it does something to your psyche, I'm sure.
Absolutely, it changes you forever. Back when I was growing up, it was this is 1975, when the oil community was booming in Texas, and all the Middle Eastern men that would come and strike oil deals with people in America. They would come and they would strike deals there in South Texas, and they would literally immediately come to my grandfather's goat ranch, and they would choose a goat, and they would literally right there in front of us, slice its throat open and put a goblet underneath its neck and drink the blood fresh out of the neck as it was coming out to celebrate the deal they just made.
Fuck yeah.
That's the kind of stuff I saw.
I would probably throw up, but I'd partake for sure.
I mean, that's the best way to eat an animal. And
fresh like that, you mean?
Yeah, just like that. And but also it was a very humane way to do it. I mean, it was like an instant. It was like 7 seconds, it's done.
A lot of people, they fuck up because you see these animals and you slit their throat and you're like, oh my God, that's crazy, right?
Hold it upside down.
Imagine a bear slowly eating your fucking internal organs slowly, and you're just sitting there and you can't do anything about it.
We're going to get real morbid here. No, I'm not going to.
No, go ahead. I love it.
Well, a couple of things I've learned over the years. When you eat raw oysters, they are still alive when you put them in your mouth. So when you put what do you call it? When you put on raw oysters, you put cocktail sauce and horseradish sauce.
So you're just drowning them?
You're basically pouring salt on an open wound of an animal that's still alive before you put it in its mouth, and then it goes down your throat and it's digested in your stomach acid. So there's that one. There's also a lobster stays alive for several seconds while it's being boiled alive because its shell protects it, so it doesn't die instantly. It's probably one of the worst ways to kill an animal is to boil an lobster alive.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
I, of course, don't partake in that, but some people do. I've never been able to eat an oyster since I learned that.
I'm sure most people don't give a fuck.
So they don't know. So yeah.
So water polo. Growing up in Las Vegas, I didn't even know what water polo was, right? So when I joined the military, I had a MOS where I was in the water a lot. So we played water polo for training.
Did they throw a brick in the pool and you have to go down and retrieve it?
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a deep sea diver in the Army, so we did a whole bunch of underwater shit. And I was just a Vegas boy, so I was drowning most of the time. But water polo, that's one of the most physically demanding fucking sports, because tell anybody in here, just go tread water. That's exhausting by itself. Now you have people trying to drown you as you're doing it.
Well, from a very young age, I was thrown into a pool to swim. I don't know, 5, 6 years old.
Sounds
so by the time
right.
I got to the competitive water polo thing, it was
drowning was second nature.
Yeah, it was not that big of a deal.
I understand.
It was not that big of a deal. I grew up in a time when it's just a different era, early 70s, or early 80s. I was in the water in 1975, and I played water polo all up to 1988. So.
Oh shit! 13 years.
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't 13 years water polo, but started swimming at a very young age in elementary school.
So just in water for that much time. That exposure to water. Yeah. Do you still love the water now?
I haven't been. I don't think I've been in a pool in a couple of years, but. Yeah,
you get a little onesie on and jump in there.
You know what? It's something you never forget. Yeah.
Like riding a bike.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
So you spent all the time in the water. When did you get into film?
Okay, so when in 1977, my father sat me down in front of the TV and he said, "Joe, watch this movie. You're gonna like it." Mm-hmm. And that's the first time I ever watched a movie. Do you remember the first time you watched a movie all by yourself?
Yeah.
This is the first movie I ever watched all by myself. It was a Saturday afternoon. It was a movie called Godzilla versus the Smog Monster.
Oh shit!
And if you've never seen Godzilla versus the Smog Monster, it's supposed to be the darkest Godzilla movie ever made. In fact, it has its own special cult following.
Why is that? It was just
because Godzilla almost dies in it. He almost dies in it. And this is and the Smog Monster. It has kind of a social commentary about smog and polluting the earth and this kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And the monster's made up of all the trash that humans put out into the world. So it's this giant, huge monster made of all this toxic waste, and he nearly suffocates Godzilla to death. Yeah. Anyhow,
that's how you take out Godzilla. You gotta fucking choke his ass.
So
carbon monoxide poisoning, bitch.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But and then this movie had everything. It had the monsters. It had the miniatures. It had explosions. It had makeup effects in it, because when the smog monster would fly over a city, it would burn everybody's skin, all the human skin. So it would burn everybody's skin off and turn them into skeletons on the ground. By today's standards, it's not very graphic, but for a 7-year-old to see it, it was super graphic. Mm-hmm. And when the movie was over, I said, "Dad, what is it? How do they do that?" And he said, "That's special effects, son. That's how they do it."
And that's when you fell in love with the special effects.
That's exactly what I want to do when I grow up, Dad. So, and then by the time I was 18, my dad's like, "Promise me, son, that you will never stop chasing your dream." And so I've kept that promise till this day.
And how does that feel to you to look back and reflect and say, I fulfilled that promise to my dad and to yourself?
Absolutely. You know, I just every day I keep having to pinch myself. I'm living the dream.
That's pretty badass. I'm sure the time has went by fast.
You know what? As soon as you settle into as soon as you can tell you, eventually, this is for me, my own personal struggle. But eventually, I told myself, because I was armed with the facts. I'm not the best. I'm at least one of the best, and I'm going to keep moving forward with that. As soon as I did that, then everything else was easy. You know, just gotta move through life like just doing your best. You know. Yeah.
That's pretty badass.
I hope that made sense.
No, 100%. Because once you truly believe in yourself, everything else comes second nature.
Right.
Because you don't need anybody else's personal satisfaction or opinion or anything to keep you going.
Yeah, that's
because when you wake up in the morning, you piss excellence and say, fuck it, I got this.
Absolutely. You know, because I talk to a lot of people and they struggle with their art or being creative or being a musician or being in filmmaking. And I'm like, hey, eventually you just got to tell yourself, I'm one of the best. Mm-hmm. Let's go.
While being honest with yourself, though, you have to put in the work.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Man, I want to walk over here. I saw like this clown get up over here on the wall.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks pretty fucking awesome.
I actually stopped by it earlier to take a look at these eyes. They were nicely painted.
Ooh, check this shit out.
It's like a custom piece installed there, yeah.
Oh, my God. These are my kind of people. Bill, where are you at? Where are you at, Bill?
I think he's on set.
Oh, I didn't even notice this. Welcome to Derry. You an It fan?
I do like it. Yeah, I do. I like the new one. I don't remember the old one. I don't think I've seen it. I didn't see the original.
Either part?
No, not the original. The original with the TV series.
I guess it was a TV series.
Yeah, it was a TV series. Yeah, I never got a chance to see the TV series, but
that's
I do like the new one.
Insane. So Tim Curry did such a phenomenal job. He's just looking at him, I get a little nervous.
He's an iconic actor.
Yeah.
He's, the roles that he's portrayed over the years have been duplicated and mimicked and photocopied and Xerox throughout the ages. Mm-hmm. You know, and when I was 5 years old, I saw Rocky Horror Picture Show for the first time.
Nice.
And I found my people. I was like, oh, that's where all of us go. That's what, you know what I mean? Because you have them, you have all these different groups of people, and when they made the Rocky Horror Picture Show, I think it was either Paramount Pictures. They're like, this is an untapped audience of all the, I don't know if I'm insulting anybody, but I say all the weirdos of the world.
No, I'd take that as a compliment.
Because
that's a compliment, baby.
Because there's the mainstream cinema, and they're like, this is an untapped market. I think it's like the goth people, the rockers, the weirdos, the dark people that live in the night.
I call it the Bruce Campbell fan club.
Yeah, it was the people that live in the night, right? There's a whole race of people that walk in the day, and then there's the rest of us that play at night.
The day walkers. Day walkers, and then there's the vampires.
Yeah. And that's what Rocky Horror was. Yeah.
You know, when you could get the right level of weirdness together, you can make some good shit. I feel like that's what the trilogy of House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and Three from Hell is. You have Rob Zombie and his team and his homies. They're all fucking weirdos. Look at the music that they make. That's just some heavy metal fucking crazy shit. And then they go in and just say, you know what? I'm going to make my own shit. You know, I could crowdfund it and I can make it how I want to. I don't know how it was like allowed. Was it like NC-17? House of a Thousand Corpses was fucking just a lot at that time too. But he made some shit that was not going to be mainstream. It wasn't going to be accepted. It was going to be heavily criticized, and he still made some fire shit.
Oh, that's you know, at the end of the day, when you make a movie, movies are neither good or bad. They either entertain the person who's watching them or they do not. And then as far as being a director, I've directed 19 feature films. And, you know, at the end of the day, you have to sit and watch your own movie and be happy with it yourself. So if you're making a movie for somebody else and other people, you know, that's one thing. I know a lot of directors in Hollywood I've spoken to. Some of them made flops, some of them made hits. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you have to be able to sit and be entertained by your own work, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what? That's what Kyle over there says. He says, if you don't want to sit down and listen or watch your own work, who the hell is?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you got to be proud in what you put out.
Yeah, which movie are you going to put on when you want to show your stuff, you know?
That's big right there, too. It's like, ooh, it's getting spicy. I'm a little nervous. So growing up, you got into film, you said 1987, correct? That's when you...
Well, when I was 7 years old, I knew what I wanted to do, Godzilla verse. And then when I was 12 years old, was 1982, and it was the first year that they put video cameras out on the home media market. Like you,
That's
like,
when your parents invested.
The average consumer could not buy a camera. You could buy a film camera, but like a video camera, like a half-inch video camera, that came out in 1982. And I remember I just kept egging my parents. I want to, and back then my mother was a school teacher and my father was a goat farmer, so they had to come up with $2,200 to buy it. And that's a lot of money for a school
That's
teacher.
a lot of money right now.
Well, I'm just saying, but you know what I mean? So they came up with the money, and when they gave me the camera, I remember it was like Christmas, and they're like, "Here you go. Here's your college education," because they knew that's what I wanted to do with my career.
That's awesome.
So it's $2,200 investment, and here I am today.
Fuck yes. That just goes to show when you have the love and support of those around you, what you can achieve. Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%.
Growing up in film and getting started in the 80s and going into the 90s to the present, the 80s was a time of slasher films. The 80s was my ultimate favorite decade of horror movies because I'm a slasher film guy. You have the Freddy Kruegers and the Michael Myers and the Jasons that took off and populated in that decade. How did those guys, those filmmakers, and those movies impact you?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, I have like a lot of like cult movies that truly like changed and shaped why I do what I do. Most of them are very obscure films that you'll probably never heard of. Like one of my all-time favorite cult slasher movies is a movie called Nightmare in a Damaged Brain. If you've never seen it, you have to see it. It's super bloody. It's like way more bloody. In fact, this is how bloody. Well, there's a picture of Tom Savini on set helping them do the final scene.
No, you want to talk about badass motherfuckers with special effects.
Well, here, listen to this. Okay, so Tom was on set just to assist them or just kind of help them, give them pointers, but they used his name to advertise the film. And believe me, like the effects in the film are great, but Tom used to talk to me on the phone when I was 12 years old. I could call him on the phone.
That's so
back in the day.
Talking about having a badass mentor.
Exactly. Back in the day, you could call 411, right? And if a person's name was listed in the white pages of the phone book, the 411 operator would give you their home number. So I knew he lived in Pittsburgh, so I called the Pittsburgh 411. I said, "May I have the phone number to Tom Savini?" And I gave him his name, and they gave me his home phone number. So I would call him on the phone, and Tom would sit and talk with me for like one time. I remember he talked for me like for 45 minutes, just like told me like how to load a chemical fire extinguisher with blood, and he was very, very kind man to me. Yeah.
Shout out to him, man. It just goes to show you should be nice.
Yes.
You know, people talk about gatekeeping these days. You know, they have all the game and they don't want to share it with anybody.
That's right.
In fear of people surpassing them or doing better.
That's right. Losing something that they have or not getting something that they want, right? That's what fear is. Fear is losing something that you have or not getting something that you want. And all these people that like, you know, I have my own special techniques that I've invented myself because I'm not professionally trained. I've been teaching myself all over the years. So I do have blood formulas that I do not like to share, but ultimately everything that was shown me, I'm happily show other people how to do.
You can't share the secret recipes, but as far as like the general day-to-day shit that could get people by and get them started or save some time. I can only imagine how long you spend doing special effects or prosthetics or makeup and shit like that on the sets.
Well, a couple of things that come up are like, for instance, most people don't realize this, but there was a man that invented the slasher splatter genre back in 1963. His name was Herschel Gordon Lewis. Okay.
Shout out to Herschel.
Herschel Gordon, he's dead now, but he directed a movie called Blood Feast. And he made the movie in 1963, and he shot, edited, wrote the script, composed the music, and created all the special effects for the film Blood Feast. And in 2001, I just by chance happened to be able to get the job to do the special effects for the sequel to that film, directed by Herschel.
Damn, hell yeah.
So Herschel became one of my mentors, and then he revealed to me before he died the actual formula for the blood that he used in that 1963 film. So I'm like the only living person that knows the formula. And one day I will tell somebody else it before I go. But yeah.
That's pretty badass.
One of my little things there. But man, most people don't know that. I mean, I've had a pretty detailed career when it comes to like having these amazing mentors and doing like some pretty, things that I feel like are just like bucket list moments. Like working with the man that invented the splatter genre. Most people don't know this, but I have the Guinness Book of World Record for the highest body count.
I was going to bring it up, 155 kills,
yes,
correct?
Yeah.
And a Summer of Massacre.
That's right.
So I looked at the trailer. I didn't have time to watch the movie, but I looked at the trailer, and you have got people killing in all types of different ways.
Yeah.
So one of them, a guy got his brain split open with a remote.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So share with me a little bit when you're just sitting down and you're writing, this movie, you're writing the script. How do you come up with the different ideas, or was it like, let's just fucking do everything?
Well, when we made the Summer Massacre in 2012, and I set out to set a Guinness Book of World Record. At the time, I think it was like something like 55 kills or 50 kills.
You fucking shattered it.
And so I was like, we're going to do this like so much that no one can even come close. And I was actually going to school at the time to learn CGI. So a lot of my classwork is in the film. I was still learning how to do these things. Mm-hmm. And, as far as like, we were just like, what can we do? How can we kill this person next? But this year, we're going to re-release that film. I've been doing digital effects now for 14 years. I'm going to do an entirely new digital effects pass, and we're going to add 50 more kills to the movie and beat our record.
I would love to die in your movie. If you need some people to die, I would love to.
Absolutely.
I could die good, Joe.
Absolutely.
I'll fucking die really good.
Absolutely.
Willie and Kat could die too. Shit.
Absolutely. Yeah, I want to get everybody involved in it. Yeah.
So when it comes to doing your own work on your movies, like you said, that movie you were exposing yourself to doing CGI in your own movie that's being released. How much practice do you need? How confident do you need to be? Like when you're going into that movie, did you just say, fuck it?
Well, like for instance, like when I'm working on a film like I am today, I get to really hone and focus my skills when I'm working on someone's personal film, like this one here that I'm doing with Eric. And when I'm wearing so many hats, sometimes I will just say this: sometimes my work suffers a little bit. That's why it's going to be great to take a step back now after seeing it for 14 years, be able to go and clean it up and just kind of basically do all the things I really wanted to do to begin with.
Right, the original vision.
Yeah.
That's pretty
because
badass.
The story's there, the performances are there, and everything's there. I just need to go in and because I've learned so many new things in the process, just applying like maybe one of these techniques to each of the deaths would just totally take it over the top. Yeah.
You mentioned wearing too many hats and how that becomes strenuous and just stressful.
Yeah.
Do you recommend people getting into the industry today to wear many hats and learn the basics of many different things?
Well, learning the basics of many different things, yes. But major motion pictures, especially the ones that we all really love and enjoy, it's a team effort. No one makes a movie alone. Mm-hmm. And like I said, like whenever someone hires me to do the special effects for their movie, I tell them, don't hire me as a special effects artist. Hire me as your special effects supervisor. You want to come to me with all of your actual needs when it comes to asking questions about how it needs to be done, how it needs to be shot, how it needs to be lit, how it needs to be executed, what the setup is to the death, because you're going to get 40 years of experience all in this one title like that. And so some people think a lot of people don't understand that digital effects and practical effects are totally differently executed on set. And so sometimes the director comes to me and they're like, I want to do it like this and that and this, and I give them exactly what they want. They're disappointed. Mm-hmm. Instead of
letting you do what you do.
Yeah, leaning on me.
You're the professional. Let you go in there and just fully put their trust into you and let you do what you specialize in.
Absolutely. Like most people don't realize, there's a blood formula I have that would look great on your skin. I have a special blood formula.
That's pretty badass.
That looks great on dark skin. Yeah. I have a special blood formula that works best at night. I have a special blood formula that works well against like white walls. Mm-hmm. I have another formula that works well against cloth. It sits on the surface. It doesn't go into cloth. It's all these little things.
Now, has this all came from trial and error on set, or things that you do before you even start filming?
Oh yeah, no, this is stuff that I've picked up along the way, from different people.
Little here, little there.
Yeah, but this is, like I said, 40 years altogether. You learn how to make blood after 40 years.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So for people like me that are still pretty new into the game, I've been acting for about 3 years. I'm busting my ass doing what I think is best to further my career and get opportunities. What is some advice that you would give to somebody like myself or Willie or Kat or people that are trying to break through in this industry?
Yeah, some advice I would give someone who's starting and who's new would be you got to be all in, like all in, especially when it comes to a creative field. And also, yeah, there have been so many little things that I could add to that. Never work for free. There's always a way to get compensated for your time and your effort. One of the worst things you can do is to work for free, because you are literally damaging everyone around you who is trying to make money from it by doing that. And if someone wants you to be in their film, you are obviously an asset. If someone wants you to be there doing something, it's obviously an asset. And of course, like I said, there's always some way to be compensated, whether you get an upfront credit in the film, you get a bigger role, or there's some way to be compensated. And then also, I have found that whenever I help somebody else with their career, somehow my career blows up. I don't know how that happens, but that's, like when new people come into Hollywood, come into town, I say, go out and meet people, go to these premieres, go to these red carpet events, meet people and become interested and into what they're doing, and then help them achieve that. And of course, you will come along the way,
It feels good to help too.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But you never know what compensation is going to look like. You may go to like an event and think, or go work on a film, and you might even not get paid your rate, but you may meet like 3 or 4 other people that are then going to move on to something else that you can be friend with and do another project with. So the ladder moves in mysterious ways as you climb to the top.
Nice. So, Joe, you've been in the industry, like you said, for 40 years. You've done a shit ton of horror. Has horror always been your thing since the Godzilla film, or is it just something that you happen to fall into?
I think horror has really been my strong point over the years. I think people know how to showcase special effects in horror films, and they also allow me to, They allow me to get real creative in horror films. Like, I've worked on comedies, I've worked on action films, I've worked on sci-fi movies, but when it comes to like horror, especially when horror has like a fantasy element to it, like creatures, the devil, anything supernatural, then I get to really just try some things that have never been done before, almost like reinventing the wheel,
As you should, especially this many years in. It's like, shit, why not try to one up everybody else?
I'm always trying to do something.
Or yourself.
Well, it's like, when people come to me, I don't really do a lot of advertisement, so when people come to me to work on their film, when they come to me, they're looking for something they can't find anywhere else. That's why you come to talk to Joe Castro.
It's secret blood serum. Yeah. That's what it is amongst many things.
Or you come to me because you want something strange and unusual you cannot get anywhere else. You're not going to be able to find something that I make online by a mass company or something like that. And I also like to work super closely with the director. Like, if you looked at my text messages with this director here on this movie, it's just I'm constantly going back and forth. I show them different eye color for the creature, different skin textures. I want them to be involved in every aspect of it, because when I show up on set, I want them to already know what they're going to get. I want them to be prepared to really work with it. I don't want there to be any surprises.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see that for sure. So,
yeah.
When you go into a job, you accept a job, are they sending you sketches of the idea that they want for the main horror attraction?
Sometimes the director I like to call them closet special effects artists. Sometimes the directors are closet special effects artists, but they haven't really pursued and developed the skills to do what they need. So they come for me to be their hands.
To fill in the details.
Exactly.
Okay.
Sometimes they'll do a little sketch or whatever, but most of the time there'll be like a description in the screenplay, or they just let me run with it. I work with a director. His name is Chad Farron. I think I've done 7 movies with Chad Farron. I did Exorcism at 60,000 Feet. We did Night Stalker. We did Scalper. The old ones, The Pig Killer. And I know we just did another one. Oh, yeah, The Unspeakable Beyond the Wall of Sleep. Anyways, Chad.
That's my kind of shit right there.
Chad is great at, I call it delegating the appropriate authority. You know, he knows exactly how to use
Falling
me.
back to that good team.
Yeah. He knows exactly how to use me. He will suggest like a mood or suggest what it should be like, and then I will run with it from there. Yeah.
Nice. When you have a team that you fully trust, and you say, "Hey, Joe, I know you're the fucking shit. Go do your thing, man. Let's go make a good movie."
And I can't take credit for it all by myself. Like I work with very talented cinematographers. Howard, who's the cinematographer on this movie, is very talented. I work with Jeff Billings on Chad's films, and they really know how to light practical effects and make them look great. It's not just about like a whole bunch of diffused lighting. They know exactly what they're doing to make it look like that classic 70s, 80s vibe that we all love, right?
Yes, damn straight. So, Joe, outside of your own work, of course, what are some of your favorite scary movies?
Oh, that's a great question. I can tell you right off the back. Well, there's a tie for number one. That's either the original Poltergeist that came out in 1982. That movie really inspired me for many, many years. And there's also a movie that David Cronenberg directed. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called Rabid, but it's the old version. There's two versions. There's a remake. There's an old version. Those two movies definitely inspired me as a young man. And then there's also a movie that was originally titled The Gates of Hell, City of the Living Dead. It's directed by Fulci. Have you heard of that film?
It sounds very familiar, actually. I don't think I've seen it, but
Have you seen a movie where this woman cries blood and then she vomits up all of her intestines?
I feel like I need to see that, though.
You need to. It's City of the Living Dead, The Gates of Hell.
Gates of Hell, City of the Living. I gotta fuck with that. Okay.
And then, of course, there's Blood Feast. If you haven't seen the 1963 version of Blood Feast directed by Herschel Gordon Lewis, then your education in the world of horror is incomplete. Okay, you're just.
I have movies to watch, so I do a October tradition. I watch a different scary movie every day of October.
I'm gonna send you some. Yeah.
Yes, please send me a list. I need that. I need that for sure. Is it okay if we walk around and talk to some of the cast?
Absolutely,
All right,
absolutely.
Hell yeah. Come on, guys, let's do it.
Here's your target.
What's going on, guys?
Okay, we're talk to this one right here. Hey. This one right here. Do you know this guy right here? This guy is super famous right here.
How you doing?
This man right here.
I'm Levi.
This guy Elobar right here. We're in Greasy Sling. He's doing a little podcast.
We're doing a little podcast.
Yeah. This guy right here has a lead role in the film. This guy's an amazing actor, super talented, and I'm so honored and privileged to work with this guy.
Oh man. I like hugs. Get in there. Look at some of that.
That's the best.
I'm a hugger.
Have you seen The Greasy Strangler?
The Greasy Strangler?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Look at this right here. Come here. Take a look. Take a look at this. There he is.
Fuck yes.
There he is right there.
Can we give another shout out to this fucking house, though? This house is absolutely amazing.
Guys, we're rolling the tape. Can you please move?
Oh, yeah. Damn, I done fucked up the
We're in
tape.
trouble. We're in trouble.
I took the tape and they fucked it up.
Come here.
I didn't hear it quiet on set, I swear.
Come here, Scott. Come here, Scott. Come on here. Can I say something?
Yeah.
If you haven't seen The Greasy Strangler, it's a movie that will literally make you want to take a shower after you see it. Have you heard that? Someone told you that before?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You want to get up and literally take a shower after you've seen it.
It's like a John Waters flick.
Here, hold up.
Yeah, man.
So, how long have you been acting for?
Forever.
A couple months?
Forever.
Tell them, you've done some really strange stuff. When people ask you to be in their film, it's because they want something really cool.
Really bizarre and strange and offbeat and unnerving and
That's why we get along. We're exactly the same.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like that. You brought back your Godzilla film, the movie that kind of got you into everything. And I remember, have you ever seen Redneck Zombies?
Have you seen
No, I
that?
haven't seen that.
All right, so
You watch a lot of horror? You don't watch a lot of horror?
No, I don't watch any
you just
horror.
like
What kind of films do you watch? Strange ones?
Strange films,
Strange
like
ones.
stuff that most people don't know, but it's like Max von Sydow. I like his acting.
Well, he was in the original Exorcist.
Yeah, I mean, I saw The Exorcist. It scared the fuck out of me.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Still to this day.
And Rosemary's Baby.
Have you ever seen Rosemary's Baby?
I have.
I would say he's so young. I'm like, someone's
Yeah.
just going like this.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the band Devo?
No, I have not.
I
no.
love Devo.
See,
I
that's
love
how I
Devo.
gauge whether or not.
Dun, 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 dun.
You heard of Devo? You heard of
Dun,
Devo?
No, I
Oh
haven't.
my gosh, I'm so old.
Fucking Joe. We've been in the game for 40 years. I'm not even 40 yet.
It's a mic.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? This technology they got going here.
Hey,
So,
shout out to your fans. What's this broadcast? What's this podcast?
Talk Smack with Mac. We're on
Talk
YouTube.
Smack
Talk
with-
Smack with Mac. I'm Mac, and you're talking shit, baby.
Thank you for being on Talk Smack with Mac.
You fucking
I love
heard it
Talk
right here,
Smack
baby.
with Mac. And watch The Greasy Strangler. I gotta go back in, or they're gonna fire me.
Yeah, don't get fired and don't get too greasy.
Brother, thank you, brother.
I appreciate you. So, Joe, what do you have coming next? After this, are you going back to California? or-
Yeah, I'm going back to California. We're gonna get right into the Summer of Massacre redo is what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah, redo. We're gonna go
You're
back.
actually going to have redo in the title?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I might call it remixed.
Okay.
Yeah, it might be remixed.
So, how much additional footage are you putting in? You said 50 additional kills. How much time is that taking?
It'll probably take me the rest of the whole year to put together.
No, as far as runtime in the film.
Oh, the movie right now is, I think it's not 98 minutes, or maybe it's 110 minutes, I don't forget. But what we're going to do is we're going to go through, my husband is a Emmy award-winning editor. He edits the TV show Big Brother, and he won the Emmy for The Amazing Race. So he's all about like trimming away all the fat.
Yeah.
So I haven't watched that movie in years. So, but I'm sure it's due for a re-edit. And they're like,
So he does all the edits for your films?
Yes. Yeah. We
So is he a horror fan as well?
he likes horror, but he works more in like primetime television. So he knows how to take like the most obscure stuff and edit it and make it look very mainstream. He could take something that's like completely like not sellable and make it extremely marketable.
Nice.
That's what he does.
And having that on your team is very valuable.
Oh, absolutely. He can take like he's a fixer. He can take like a broken project and fix it and make it marketable, make it look like money.
Nice.
So he'll probably go in, he'll probably trim about 10 minutes out of the film, so maybe we can add 20 and it won't be such a long waiting time. But yeah, I'll probably add an additional new 20 minutes of film to the 50
kills in 20 minutes? That's
the
a lot of fucking
in the first 25 minutes of the film, there's a guy, I think he kills like something like 50 people. So that's more than a kill a minute. This the opening story of the film is this guy gets brutally assaulted in a park, like he's working out. This is in the middle of the night, and these guys assault him and take his wallet, and it screws at his head. And when he comes to the next morning in the park, he's just deranged. Like he's just off. So he's trying to make his way home, but he goes on a killing rampage to get there. He forgets who he is, what's going on. He doesn't even know if he's human on the way home. So he's just killing people along the way. And then when he gets to his house, finally gets back to his house, he encounters the group of men that stole his wallet because they were robbing him. And then he tortures all of them. That's just in the first 25 minutes of the film.
That's my kind of shit.
Yeah, it's a real piece of entertainment.
How much blood was used on set? I know there's famous films like Evil Dead, all of the Evil Dead movies that use so much blood.
You know, I have pictures of me from the shoot where I'm like, I just have gallons. I'll have a gallon of blood on every set, on every day of the shoot. I couldn't tell you how much blood I poured on that film. But also, I use a lot of digital blood as well as practical because I like to mix both mediums. One of my favorite things to do is to shoot elements practically and then composite them digitally. That's what they used to do back in the day. They used to shoot everything practical and then composite them. That's why everything still had a very handmade feel, like a very not realistic. But what am I? I don't know. It just seemed like it had more credibility. Authentic. Yeah.
Puts you in the mindset and the mood.
Yeah. It's just like it meant something as opposed to like someone punching some buttons on a computer and making it happen.
Yeah. And it helps with acting too. If you have some actual blood slapped in your fucking face, it's going to put you into some type of mood.
That's right.
How about you, Kat? You ever had some blood on you?
Oh, many times.
Yeah.
One even tasted like, it smelled like chocolate.
The chocolate blood?
Yep.
Yeah.
What is like the worst situation of blood where the actors had to just go home and scrub?
Ooh, I have two incidences I could tell you about. One is blood on a very Caucasian person that had to wear it all day long, and then they turned red.
Stain them?
Yeah, stained their flesh, and they had to be normal, like later on in the shoot. And they were.
We got to CGI you back white.
Yeah. And then another one was now this isn't blood, but there was a vegan on a movie set, and I turned her into a zombie, right? And I put the latex and stuff on their skin, and it's stuck to their skin because they got no oil or animal fat in their body, and it literally bonded with their skin, and we couldn't get it off, and we had to send them home so they could soak in a hot bath to see if it would lift off.
Obviously, they got it off, but did the bath help?
I don't know. I just know that we tried our best to like slowly take it off, and it was like literally bonded to their skin.
So I was on a zombie movie, and I was a zombie, and they turned my head into brains. And when I got home, I'm in the shower, and I'm fucking just pulling this off and shit. It's a pain in the ass at times. Oh, we're about to get in trouble for fucking up.
No, I don't think so.
No, man, that's pretty cool.
But one time I super glued my lip to my chin to make it look like I was a burn victim, and I didn't have any problem with it. So there you go.
But it's your when it's your own doing, you're a little bit more open to fucking yourself up. I don't know if I can let you super glue my fucking lip, Joe.
I put the super glue on like that. Have you seen that zip kicker where you can kick it real fast? It's a spray. So you put the super glue together, then you put it on both objects, and you go, and it instantly kicks it. So I did that, and I went, and it instantly.
The special effects guys, they know all the weird extra shit.
That's going back to like 1920 when Lon Chaney Sr. he would put like wires in his nose. When he did the Phantom of the Opera, like that old black and white movie, he put like wires in his nose like that to make his nose look like a skeleton. And he did all kinds of very strange stuff to his face.
Talking about commitment.
Yeah.
That's a little fucked up. All right, well, Joe, I really appreciate it, man. I had such a great time. This is very
fun.
surreal.
Yeah, I hope it was fun.
No, I didn't meet, but I got to see some people that I've seen in some Rob Zombie films, and that shit is badass. And being around just this environment is awesome. And to meet somebody with your stature and credentials, somebody that's been in the game for so long, is an honor. So I really appreciate it.
So before we go, I just want to say we're on the set of Infernal, and it's going to be coming soon. And I'll be posting pictures. You can reach me at Joe_Castro_director, or give me a shout out and send me a direct message at facebook.com/Joe.Castro.
Joe Castro, man, I really appreciate your openness to allow us to come here and just check out what the fuck you guys are doing, man. Yeah. Inferno looks like it's going to be a really good time. This house is absolutely amazing. I'm going to steal some of these fucking ideas with the lights and shit and bring it back to my house.
If you and your crew are ever out in LA, let me know in advance so that way we can get together and talk shop, or maybe we can come put you in a movie. You can die on camera.
I want to die. I would absolutely love to. All three of us, we'll be in LA, man. You say when and where to die, and we'll be there, and we'll fucking make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Hey, Joe, man, I appreciate it again. That's Levi signing off, man. Talk Smack with Mac. We're out.